Hello, welcome to Sean's RC. I'd ask you to like and subscribe to my channel so I can make more content. I enjoy making content, and the car that we have on the turntable there needs no introduction. Anybody that knows anything about RC knows what this is. This is Tamiya's best-selling RC car of all time, the Hornet. It came out in the mid-1980s, and they're still making them to this day. That shows you how popular they are. And guys that have got some of the best and fastest RC cars, they still buy them just to have them because they're such an icon. You know, and this particular one here is an expert semi-assembled, so it came already built. The lunchbox and the pumpkin beside it, and I built those, but I wanted my Hornet because it had a special place in my heart. You know, a lot of memories of when I was growing up. I had a Hornet. I remember saving up all my pocket money and going and buying an original Hornet, vintage one, when I was about 13 or 14. And it opened me into the world of RC. You know, I took it out, I bashed it, I raced it. I never really got anywhere racing it because it just didn't compete with some of the high-spec cars that, well, we call them back then, they were high-spec, but not these days. But they're just a hell of a lot of fun. And the one I built, you know, I got unpainted body and everything. And the first thing that, you know, the Tamiya kits, they don't come with radio gear or anything. So saved up all my pocket money. I bought that, just the, you know, the kit set, put it all together, and then I had to save up more, you know, as much again as the car was worth to get the radio gear and the batteries. And so it was just something, you know, things didn't come to people easily back then. So, you know, as far as the neighborhood went, I was one of the trendy kids because I had a Hornet. There was a few other people that had Grasshoppers. You know, they were the cheapest Tamiya that you can buy. I can't remember the old Radio Shack. What were they? The old, they looked very similar to a Grasshopper, but, you know, they had the cheaper ones. But, you know, I was I had the Hornet, so I thought I was pretty cool back then. You know, it was only the rich kids that had the RC10s and the proper racing kids and that had them, and yeah, the Tamiya associated RC10s and the Schumacher Cats, which were pretty good in their day. This thing couldn't compare to them, but those things couldn't compare to this when it come to just all-out fun. You know, if you broke something on it, which I never really did break anything on mine from memory, it was pretty hardy, and it took a lot of abuse. You know, but even if you did, you could buy the parts for cheap. And even to this day, I mean, you still find parts for them. And it's quite amazing to think that a vehicle like this from the 1980s is still as popular as what it is now. And I wonder if it's still Tamiya's top seller. It probably is. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm not sure about that, but there's just the endless part supply, endless support for them right to this day. And I mean, that car there's a re-release Hornet, but from memory, I don't notice anything different on them. It looks exactly the same. Even the stickers, I remember the Hornet and the Anytime Baby on the back. Maybe some of those little sponsor stickers on the side, they might be different because it's probably not licensed anymore, but maybe that was the only difference. But, you know, the chassis and everything is all the same. Some of the electrics, like the ESCs, are more modern, but the motor's still the same. You know, the only thing that would be different would be a couple of the stickers and a more modern ESC. So they haven't really changed in what, 80s, 90, what, 30, 40 years these things have been around. It's quite amazing to think, and they're still selling like hotcakes, you know. A lot of them are sold out when you go and look for them. I mean, in New Zealand here, I paid about $300 for the expert semi-assembled. I think the kit's about $260. So I thought, I'll just pay the extra money. I wanted my Hornet to be perfect. And there's no way I'd ever get my Hornet as perfect as that one. The stickers are all perfect. It's just put together really, really well. and I've never run this. I've actually got a Rising Fighter that I was running, but I took the electrics out of it, but I've got some armour running gear that I'm going to put in that Rising Fighter, because I miss running a Tamiya. I sort of, as my running cars, I go with the more expensive brands, the Armours and the Lossies and the like, you know, but it's fun to pull out a Tamiya too, every now and then. But yeah, any of these three cars are must have in your collection. Any of the lunchboxes, the standard yellow one, the black edition like that, that's the black edition Midnight Pumpkin. You take a lot of pride in building these vehicles, and when you finish to be able to look at them like that, well, I did that, I built that, and you know, it took me hours, it took me a day or whatever, but you get better and better at it. So yeah, I recommend this car to anybody as just an icon to have in your collection, and it'll be, even though it's a cheap car, it'll be the king of your collection. Everybody knows a Tamiya Hornet, and if people look at your collection, it's one of the first cars they'll notice is the Hornet. Anyway, that's my video for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.